Hi everybody, it's Claire with another art journal video, and I'm just popping on with another video sharing my new release from Funky Fossil. I'm just going to share a make that I'm going to do. Thought I'd film it as I did the previous one. So this is my new flamingo collection called Stand Tall, which is with Funky Fossil, and I'm going to create on a piece of watercolour paper because I wanted to just have a go at doing something loose and not in a journal, just for a change. So this stamp set is called no, not Feeling Fab, I think it's called Tropical. I've lost the packaging for it. Here it is. Yes, it's called Tropical, and it's got these fabulous leaves on. Now they're all separate, they're not joined together, so they've got text in them as well, which I love. So what I'm going to do is just I'm just going to kind of place them on this stamp pad in a sort of loose organic way. I'm going to use VersaFine pad because I'm going to do some heat embossing. Now Sarah has released from Funky Fossil, she's released some embossing powders with Wow, and they're called Mediterranean Moods, and she's got one called Olive Grove, then there is Tuscan Terracotta and Santorini Blue. So I thought I'd make my first layer using the olive green, pop that on, and then I can add some colours over the top and add them as a resist, because where the embossing powder is, it will resist. Right, so you probably can't see that, it has stamped quite well. So these are the embossing powders, you get 3 in the set, and I'm going to use this one, which is called Olive Green. I'm going to pop it underneath that piece of paper under there, and then I'm just going to sprinkle it on quite generously. I've no idea where the leaves are anymore, can't see them. And oh my gosh, look, let's get rid of that bit. Okay, so before I do any more, I'm just going to put this bit back. Now I'm loving how the powder has picked up the text from the stamps. I'm to end up embossing my mat here if I'm not careful. Let me just give that a wipe. That's going to be a really nice first layer on my page. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go like green at the top and more of a bluey colour at the bottom, so I can use my new ripple stencil. Okay, so let's heat set this. Let's see what it looks like. You'll be able to see some of the text. You can't actually read the words because they're so tiny. I'm just going to have to move my hand because that's quite hot. It always feels like doing magic, this. Oh, my heat tool's not too happy. I love how that one on the end's just kind of partially stamped. That looks really cool. Okay. That wasn't quite dry. just smudged my finger through that. Hilarious, because it was still warm. But that's okay, I'm going to go with it. Like, how was that going to be cool already? Seriously, Claire. Okay, let's give that a waft. Okay, so I'm going to grab some I think I'm going to use some Lindy's pigment powders for this next bit. So I'm going to use merry-go-round green, I think, first. Perfect little pots of delicious colour. Has that cooled down? Yes, it has now. Yeah. Ooh, honestly. Ooh. Let's say. I might just grab a watercolour brush so I can pull that around a bit faster. So I like that you can still see those leaves through the background. And what I can do is just build this up a little bit and go in with a different green as well once this layer's dry. And then I could even stamp the leaves over the top in black if I want to, or even in another colour. So while that's wet, I think I will just find another green that I can use. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I'll just have a look in my Lindy's, see what I can find. What's this? Another olive colour. Oh my. Oh, that's nice. I like that. One thing I love about Lindy's is the unpredictability of what's going to come out. You just never quite know. Let's go with a little bit of teal as well. Yeah, I do like that. That's nice. Let's just pull that down here a little bit. Okay. That is just puddling a bit over there. I think that's going to be Take It or Leaf It. That's a great colour to use on this, isn't it? Whoa, did you see that come out of there then? Goodness, that just kind of flew out. I'm going to just let that do its thing, and to give it a dry. This might take a little while, but I want that to be, I don't want to kind of lift any of that colour off there, so I'm going to just let it take its time and dry, and then I will have some areas where the colour is a bit more intense than others, and that's okay. And I can still see those leaves, they're still there. I'm just going to lift that blood there off. I kind of quite like how those colours have settled in the gaps in the leaves. That's pretty cool. So this paper that I'm using is from Art by Marlene. It is her smooth all-round paper. So it's not really a watercolour paper, but it's all round, so right, you can use it for anything. I love how those leaves, the embossing powder from Wow that Sarah's designed, have kind of almost given them like a gold effect. So my plan now is to just go in and do some stamping on there. And maybe put some blue down the bottom. What blues have I got? Portrait Blaze Blue. Should we try this down here? Oh, that is, oh my days, that's a lot of blue. You know, I was saying this is unpredictable. Well, there you go. That's how unpredictable it is. Unscrew the lid and out it comes. Ooh, the colours in these Lindies though are amazing. It kind of activates and you get all these little grains of different colours that are in the Lindies. They are amazing, amazing products. Just have to unscrew them a bit carefully. Oh dear me. So I'm just kind of making like a watery effect down here. I'm going to go over this with my ripple stencil. This is where you get to see the raw, uncut versions of my art journaling. I don't often work on loose card, but actually it's quite nice. Okay, so that's probably dry enough. I'm just going to lift some bits. I've left some grainy bits on there, so I'm just going to lift those off. Okay, just grab that back actually. Right, so I would like to, I maybe need to just give these a little wipe after using the embossing pad on them, so I don't want the kind of glue in the pad to settle in the thing and spoil the stamp. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do now is pop these back on here, leave those to dry off. Right, and then I'm going to use this one. I'm sorry if you can hear that lawnmower. It's very loud, isn't it? We call that gardener the phantom lawnmower because it revs it so much and it's so loud. So apologies if you can hear that. It's in the garden next door. Right, I'm going to stamp some of these leaves. I've just stamped them on with some black over the top, just to create another layer really. Go in with a slightly smaller one as well. I want to create a sort of a jungly feel. Let's get a smaller one. Maybe that one. Let's give it a bit of a wipe. All right, Lola. So I am just stamping it over the top of all the ones that are on there already. Stamping it onto the edges too. Okay. And then of course in the paper pad there are leaves as well. If you wanted to, you could cut some of these out and stick some of those on too. Yeah, lots of possibilities. Right. I want to go in with my ripple stencil now. Honestly, I keep moving things and then I can't find them. There it is. So I think I'm going to use Dina's Sapphire for this. I want these to be, I'm going to have maybe 3 flamingos on here. Oh my days, that is so loud. Honestly. I'd be so annoyed if you were trying to sleep. Which thankfully I'm not. You'll be glad to hear. Right, so I've got some kind of ripples on my water. I might just over stamp with some white ones as well, because I think that would look pretty cool. Over stamp, I mean stencil, honestly. Let's just go in with some smaller ripples in white. Oh yes, I like that. That is so cool. It's all right, Lola. It's only the gardener. He's noisy, isn't he? Noisy, noise, just doing his job. I know. I know. Right. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that's the ripple stencil and the tropical stamp. I'm just going to pop that away in there. Maybe I'm not. So I think it might be quite nice to have one large flamingo and a couple of smaller ones, and I might stamp them on I might actually stamp them on paper this time. Excuse me while I just let the dog out. Minus the dog. Okay, so I've got my background sorted. I'm just thinking that I wonder if some green splatters would work on there. Let's put that out the way so I can. Ooh. No, I don't think that's going to show up. Anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. Oh yes, it does. So one thing that's lovely to do is to just kind of work on building up all those layers on your background before you go in with your focal image. So I've just mixed a bit of fur in with lime and made another shade of green. I really like that. I think maybe once that's dry, some let me lift that up so you can see. There we go. So there's quite a lot of layers in that background now. I'm just going to keep cleaning up as I go along. Right, I'll put that to one side just over here. So I'm going to stamp out some flamingos. So I'm going to put a couple in the background and one in the foreground. So I think that might be quite nice to do. So, and I think I know I'm going to have to fussy cut, so I am going to just suck it up. Or cut them out, it's fine. I can do that. This is the stamp set called Strike a Pose. I'm going to use these two from this set. Kind of preening themselves. And then I can colour all these in. So I've not used these stamps before, so I'm going to ink them up really, really well. Gosh, they've come out so well. Okay, let's give them a quick dry and then I'll get some colour on them. So the reason for drying is just because I don't want the colours to kind of move around too much. So I might go with some slightly lighter colours for these ones. Let's give that a quick wash because it had green on it. I don't want green flamingos. And then I'm just thinking what. Start off with a kind of base colour of this peachy. This is a Caran d'Ache Neo Colour 2 in Apricot. I'm going to get some of this on as a first layer, then let that dry. This is just printer paper, so I've got to be a bit careful not to overwork it. I am just going to paint outside the lines actually, because I am going to be fussy cutting these, so it kind of doesn't matter. So I know at the minute it looks like a 2-year-old has coloured it, but you know, that's all right. I'm good with that. So I'll get this first layer of colour on, dry it, and then go in with another one. So the paper is going to wrinkle a little bit because it's not really meant for wet media, but it doesn't matter to me. Okay, they're going to be stuck on my page anyway. So now I'm going to go in with a slightly more pinky pink. This is Rose, also a Neo Colour 2. I'm just going to bring some of that onto my flamingo in some places, maybe not everywhere, maybe everywhere, because I'm going to go in with a darker pink as well. I just want to kind of build up the layers on these little flamingos. I am not really overthinking this, I'm just getting some colour on. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this last. This is fuchsia, this is a scribble stick. So it's gone very crinkly, the paper. It's making a lovely sound. And then I think once these are nice and dry, I will also add some white on as well, just so that there's a little bit of contrast too. One thing you'll know if you've got Dina's scribble sticks is you can't use them if your page is dry. If your page is wet, your scribble stick probably won't work on it. So you need to wet the scribble stick to allow it to release some of the pigment onto your page. Okay. My flamingos are starting to look glorious. Right, so much pigment on there, I'm going to leave that. Okay, I'm going to give these a good dry and then I'll cut them out. I'll have to add some white to that beak because I managed to paint over it stupidly. Okay. Oh, the phantom lawnmower is back. Right, so fussy cutting, here we go. This has to be one of my least favourite things to do. So fancy designing something like this. What a nana. Honestly. Why would you do that when you don't like fussy cutting? That doesn't make any sense. this on YouTube, you can just fast forward through this bit, find the next bit where I'm not fussy cutting. This is really tedious. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful with the legs because they are a bit fragile and flimsy. Be easier if I wasn't using printer paper. I think it would be less scary. Knowing my cutting skills are not that amazing. Okay, as in with scissors, I could probably cut this better if I was using a craft knife. In fact, that'd probably be easier, but maybe not on printer paper. Right, so there's my first one. He's going to be stood over here in this ripple. Honestly, now he's got a different tool out. Oh my days. Funny. And then I'm just going to cut out this little gap here in the neck, just because I want that to look right. Okay, there's my second one. Didn't take too long to cut out, actually, did it, really? Aren't flamingos just beautiful birds? They're so majestic. Right, I think that'll do. Stick those on. I'm going to need to add some white on here as well, I think. I'm going to have to use this glue because if I go in with some gel medium, it'll reactivate the lindies. And I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to move those pigments around that are already on my page. Let's pop Mr. Flamingo there. There you go. And you can come up here. Actually, no, I like you there. That kind of makes sense with him stood there, though. He's going to have to go there. Never mind. We could just put that one there. Let's do that. fishing. Right, then I'm going to give this a quick dry and then start with some darker lines and highlights. Excuse me. This is one of those ways you can kind of do a little bit of storytelling with your journaling as well. I think it kind of lots of fun just to play. I'm just going in with some bits of shadow, just where some bits might be a bit darker. Okay. Just bringing some more blue onto this as well. Blue and white. Carnation, no, not carnation. Oh my days. Okay. Always stand tall. Yes. Just use this quote as well. It says stay balanced, and I'm going to put that down there. Honestly, I've got stuff everywhere. Stuff everywhere. I think what this page is going to need is some splatters, some white splatters and maybe some nice bright pink splatters too. Yep, perfect. Get some nice splatters on here. So this is a gloss from Dina Wakley Media. Oh yes. Now that that a quick dry, and then I'll go in with a bit of white. Some of this Stella paste through the stencil as well on the water. Last thing, I'm going to do that as well. One thing I have found out is that when the paper is warm, the Stabilo oil pencil properly goes on like butter and activates like, I don't know, it just goes on so heavy. So don't do what I just did there. Although, to be fair, I don't dislike that because it is just helping those flamingos stand out a little bit more. And you can just do what I'm doing, which is activate it and then just lift it off if it's too much. But that's okay. That's not, all is not lost. Those little flamingos are just standing out a bit better. Yeah, that's okay. Right, let me grab my ripple stencil. There we go. And we need a I always want to call this a scalpel. That's very funny. So this is a Stella paste from Funky Fossil called Icicle Dreams, and I think we'll just pop a bit round the flamingo's feet. Oh yeah, that really brings that to life, doesn't it? A little bit round here. I like that, that's really pretty. And then this one, I think I'm just going to pull a little bit and try not to get it on my words. Okay. Cool. Right, so there we go. There's more journaling done on a loose leaf piece of paper using my brand new release from Funky Fossil and adding in some of the Stella paste and the embossing powders as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little inspiration video. Don't forget you can get your hands on the release on my website. It's on there for pre-order. Yeah, so see you again soon, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.